What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo spoiler summary. And oh my god, chapter 19 is finally here, and you all need to strap in because this is hands down the chapter that everyone has been waiting for. If you know, you know, and trust me, you're about to find out. Now, before we dive into the absolute peak that awaits us, if this is your first time checking out this channel or you're new to Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This video is going to be my reaction, review, and commentary on the newly released leak information for chapter 19. This is not a replacement for reading the official chapter. Think of this as your hype companion piece that breaks down all the insanity panel by panel. Please support the official release when it drops. Buy the physical volumes, subscribe to Shonen Jump, support the creators who are giving us this incredible story. And if you want to make sure you stay up to date on all things Modulo week by week, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. And let's jump into chapter 19. For anyone who might be jumping in or needs a refresher, let me quickly catch you up on where we are in the story. In chapter 18, we saw Dabra getting pushed in combat for the first time in his life. He's never been challenged like this before, and something awakened in him. He decided to use his light speed technique on his body to try and overwhelm Mahoraga with pure speed and force, and that's where chapter 19 picks up. Oh, and there's been growing tension between the Sumerians and Earth sorcerers, with both sides not trusting each other to honor the rules of the duel. Keep that in mind, it becomes very important later on. Everyone is caught up right now, that's good, so let's get right into it. Chapter 19 opens exactly where we left off. And yo, the artwork in these opening pages is stunning. We see Dabra's third eye, which is unique to him as a Sumerian, just bursting open, going absolutely berserk with power. Mahoraga is standing there, and you can see him reacting to the sheer energy radiating from Dabra. Then we get this gorgeous two-page spread of Dabra setting his stance, planting his foot on the ground and just blasting off at sub-light speeds. We're talking speeds that approach the speed of light, something humanity has literally never witnessed before. Now, the way the manga depicts this speed is absolutely brilliant from an artistic standpoint. There are infinite Mahoragas lining up on either side of Dabra as he moves. It's like when you stand between two mirrors and see infinite reflections stretching into eternity. That's exactly what's happening here, and it's showing us just how impossibly fast Dabra is moving. Time and space are literally warping around him. We get this incredible close-up of Dabra mid-movement, and he's thinking to himself, it's too hot and heavy. The narrator then gives us this fascinating scientific explanation. As one approaches the speed of light, air ceases to act like a fluid, just brushing past you, and instead it begins to behave like a solid. This is actually grounded in real-world physics. At normal speeds, air flows around you like water, but as you approach relativistic speeds, speed close to light speed that is, air molecules don't have time to move out of your way. They compress in front of you, creating this wall-like resistance. It's like trying to move through concrete, basically. Dabra is thinking, that's why I've got to catch up, and he's pushing his body to the absolute limit. Everything around him is shattering, buildings are crumbling, the environment is tearing apart from the sheer force of his acceleration. Then, Dabra makes contact with Mahoraga, and we get this panel in the middle of the city showing an orb of pure light from the impact. The chapter actually has text that says, "Stand among the warriors." This is such a powerful moment because Dabra is essentially dedicating this strike to all warriors, people who understand what it means to push yourself beyond your limits, to chase after something greater. He's finally understanding what it means to be a true fighter. The next page is almost full page panel of destruction just raining down from that orb of light. Debris everywhere, dust and rubble falling like a deadly rain. The sheer devastation is on a scale we haven't seen in Modulo yet. Dabra bounces back from the impacts and looks at what he's done, and you can see the shock on his face at his own power. But here's the thing, yo, this is where the fight gets really interesting from a technical standpoint. As the dust clears, we see Mahoraga's adaptation wheel spinning in the sky above the destruction. And now I don't think this is the literal physical wheel. I believe it's an artistic representation showing that Mahoraga's adaptation is looming over this battlefield. Despite everything, despite that incredible attack, Mahoraga is still standing. The attack didn't take him down. Dabra is sitting there, looking more annoyed than upset, and his internal monologue is fascinating. Okay, likely because it wasn't a complex curse technique, it was just a simple show of force. This was easier to adapt to. This is getting rather unpleasant. And this makes perfect sense based on what we know about Mahoraga from the original Jujutsu Kaisen. Remember when Sukuna fought Mahoraga? Simple straightforward attacks are easier for Mahoraga to adapt to than complex curse techniques with layers. Dabra just hit him with pure kinetic force. It's incredibly powerful, yes, but conceptually simple, so Mahoraga adapted faster. This is brilliant writing because it shows that Dabra, despite being an alien from another planet, immediately understands the mechanics of what he's facing. We get another full page panel of Dabra and Mahoraga facing each other, and both of them are smiling, not grimacing, not angry, smiling. And Dabra's internal monologue continues. This is rather unpleasant, but at the same time, for the first time, I feel like fighting is enjoyable. Yo, this is Dabra's character development happening in real time. he spent his entire life as this incredibly powerful warrior, but he's never actually been challenged before. He's never felt the thrill of combat, the joy of being pushed to your limits, and now for the first time ever, he's experiencing what it means to truly fight, to truly be a warrior. And then we get what might be an all-time Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo page. We see Mahoraga and Dabra literally doing the Titanic Jake and Rose pose, the iconic "I'm flying" scene from the movie. But it's not just that. There's this whole collage of them ballroom dancing together, waltzing gracefully like they're in a choreographed performance. Now, this obviously isn't literally what's happening in the fight, I know, but this is a visual metaphor representing how Dabra feels in this moment. To him, this fight isn't just violence, it's a dance, it's beautiful, it's art. His narration continues, and honestly, this might be some of the best character writing in the series. I want to fight more, better, more skillfully. I want to be reborn into a self I don't even know yet. I want to change. Dabra isn't just fighting to win, he's fighting to evolve. He wants to become something greater, something he can't even imagine yet. For the first time in his life, he has a genuine desire to improve, to grow, and to transform. This is his warrior awakening, and it's absolutely beautiful to witness. But then, reality crashes back in, because there's always a price for power. Dabra thinks it's in the way, and we see his leg, specifically the leg he used to strike Mahoraga at near light speed, and it literally looks like a charred mass of flesh. It doesn't even resemble a leg anymore. It's just a blackened, burnt, crispy piece of tissue. This is the payment for using cursed technique on his body at sub-light speeds. See, Dabra is a Sumerian, and while Sumerians do use cursed energy, their bodies aren't built the same way as Earth sorcerers. His body literally cannot handle accelerating to the speed of light. The friction, the heat, the forces involved, it burned his leg to a crisp. His first thought is practical. I might as well just cut it off. But then, and this is where Dabra shows us why he's such an incredible character, he starts to think. So Dabra starts having these flashbacks, piecing together observations he made. I felt a sensation different from cursed energy when I touched the blade of that creature. He's referring to when he touched Mahoraga's sword of extermination, which we all know from the original series is coated in positive cursed energy. Then he thinks about Usami, a Sumerian who is currently in the hospital receiving treatment from Earth's medical sorcerers. How are they performing treatments with cursed energy, which is negative energy? This is not the sorcery of Sumerians. Can Earth sorcery heal people? This is such a crucial detail because it shows the fundamental difference between Sumerian and Earth sorcery. In Sumerian sorcery, cursed energy doesn't have a healing application. But Earth sorcerers developed reverse curse technique RCT, the ability to convert negative cursed energy into positive energy for healing. And then Dabra just locks in. You can see it in this panel. His eyes focus and he thinks, is there some sort of technique that converts cursed power into some kind of positive energy? And just like that, we see his leg start healing. Dabra literally figured out reverse curse technique on the spot, mid-battle. Do you know just how insane that is? Just from logical deduction and observation, this is genuinely insane. And it calls back to a similar moment in the original Jujutsu Kaisen when Higuruma, a complete newcomer to sorcery, figured out domain expansion and complex techniques incredibly quickly because he approached them logically like legal principles. Dabra is doing the same thing, but on an even more impressive scale. He's treating cursed energy like a physics problem. He observed positive energy, remembered healing techniques, connected the dots, and mathematically solved for RCT like it was an equation. If cursed energy is negative and healing requires positive energy, then there must be a conversion technique. He looks at his regenerating leg and thinks, it's advanced earth sorcery. Brother, Dabra just speedrun one of the most difficult techniques in all of Jujutsu sorcery. The voltage is ramping up even further. Now, the question becomes, what's next? If he figured out RCT this quickly, can he figure out cursed technique reversal, domain expansion? How far can this man truly go? Now, we cut away from the fight to the political side of things. And this is important. Context-wise, for understanding the broader conflict, we see a young girl from Earth's Jujutsu higher-ups. She's one of the human leaders managing this crisis. She's addressing her team. We must limit the casualties on our side to Yuka alone, for her sake as well. This is a cold calculation. They've essentially sent Yuka as a sacrifice to satisfy this deal, and they're planning for her death. They just don't want anyone else to die in the process. On the Sumerian side, we see Oski, one of their leaders, addressing his people. There is no guarantee that the Earthlings will follow the rules of the duel. What we must do is ensure that no one interferes. These aren't conversations happening between the two groups. We're getting parallel cuts showing what each side is thinking and planning separately, and neither side trusts the other. The Sumerians are having this internal debate amongst themselves as they walk through what appears to be a building or a facility, thinking about interfering with Dabra's duel. Surely that's not something they would do. Yeah, but they accepted the duel, so they might have some dirty trick up their sleeves. Cross was a Sumerian who was shot earlier in the series, which escalated the tension. If you find an Earthling, don't hesitate to restrain or even kill them. Whoa, that's going too far. Just shut up and get it done. You can see the Sumerians are divided. Some want to honor the duel properly, others are paranoid about Earth sorcerers interfering, and they're getting increasingly aggressive. Meanwhile, the human girl is explaining the cursed spirit situation to her forces, and this gives us important context about what's at stake. If Yuka is defeated, the cursed energy currently in Tokyo Bay will likely spill out like a swarm of insects. I don't think any grade 2 or higher cursed spirits would flee Tokyo. They are too intelligent for that. Instead, massive amounts of low-grade frightened cursed spirits will surge forward like a tidal wave. This is a huge problem actually. Tokyo is currently a containment zone for cursed spirits. If that containment breaks, thousands of weak cursed spirits will flood out into the surrounding areas, potentially causing civilian casualties and widespread panic. The human forces have set up countermeasures, a 10-kilometer uninhabited evacuation zone beyond Tokyo's borders, barrier systems surrounding Tokyo to redirect cursed spirits towards the sea, extermination teams ready to handle the overflow. But she warns them, don't let your guard down, let's work thoroughly. Both sides are preparing for the worst case scenario, and you can feel the tension building up in the building. We see the group of Sumerians walking down a hallway when they hear shouting from a nearby room. There are humans in that room, earth sorcerers, and both groups can hear each other through that. The translation suggests that there might be water pipes or ventilation. Someone says it's just a matter of feeling, and then the door opens. The Sumerians and the humans come face to face. Earthlings, Sumerians. Both groups tense up immediately. Hands move towards weapons. Cursed energy starts crackling in the air. This is about to turn into a bloodbath inside the building, with both sides ready to attack based on paranoia and distrust. And that's when we cut outside to the skyscraper. We see a figure in a hood. We can hear the arguing happening inside the building from his perspective. The figure says out loud, I shouldn't have said anything, but I didn't actually say it yet. As he's speaking, he lifts up his hand and forms a blood orb. This is a technique we recognize, which is blood manipulation. When Mino shows up sprinting towards the hooded figure, clearly concerned. Whoa. You're by yourself. The hooded figure turns to look at him, and as he does, we see his face. It's Yuji Itadori, and he simply says, piercing blood. Or should I say, piercing shotgun. Because this isn't just a normal piercing blood. This is literally something completely new. The blood orb that Yuji created doesn't fire a single projectile. Instead, it explodes into multiple streams like a shotgun blast, but with precision targeting. We see inside the skyscraper, and remember, Yuji is standing outside, and these blood projectiles are weaving through the building. They are curving around corners, they are navigating through hallways, they are seeking out targets with pinpoint accuracy, and they are hitting everyone, dead on mark. Both the Sumerians and the humans, who are about to fight each other, the people inside are completely shocked. What's happening? They don't even know what hit them or where it came from. We cut back outside to Yuji, and he's just brushing his hands together like he's dusting them off. Job complete. Simple as that. And behind him, blood starts shooting out of every single floor of the skyscraper. Every window shatters simultaneously. It's as if the building itself has become a fountain of blood, with crimson streams erupting from every level. The visual is absolutely stunning and terrifying at the same time. Yuji looks back at the building and thinks to himself, did I overdo it? Meanwhile, Mino is just standing there, completely stunned. Yuji? And that's where chapter 19 ends.